Welcome back to the final lap of politics tonight, and I've been speaking with a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in Benue State, Daniel Onje. Tonight we focused on the uproar over the sack of elected local government chairman in Benue State. Mr. Daniel, a few minutes to wrap up, but isn't it interesting to see that APC chairman in all the 23 local government areas of the state distanced themselves from appointment of the caretaker committee by the governor? Is this not a sign of cracks within the party in that state?
Well, how sure are you that the 23 local government chairmen distance themselves? As far as we are concerned, the Benue APC is one big family, happy family. These are common issues that precipitate once in a while. Even in our very families, we have issues among ourselves, and it's only natural that we resolve. We will get to resolve sooner than you think. I'm sure now that the caretaker committee have been inaugurated, and as they get settled down for business, we will come together and iron out our differences. I don't think it's much of a problem. There is no problem per se. It's just the usual rift that precipitates or occurs amongst party members. So right. We'll resolve it. We'll resolve it.
So
we can't
before we
afford
go
to play.
This caretaker committee.
We can't afford to play or undermine this victory we've gotten. We've been in opposition for a very long time in Benue State, and this time around, we have gotten somebody who is public-spirited, a listening governor, just like Mr. President. So you agree with me that Mr. President have one of the most effective feedback mechanisms in the history of the presidents we have in this country. We've had situations in this country where, there are public outcry on issues, and it doesn't seem to bother the people at the helms of affairs in the country. But we can see the marked difference here, where there's a system of feedback, and Mr. President should be commended for that. He's doing very, very well. We are very confident that he will not be hoodwinked by the resolution of the National Assembly, because he knows too well that he does not have the power as Mr. President to stop the allocation to Benue. And no reasonable public officer would advocate the seizure of allocation to his state, particularly his local government, because the life of the people there, to a large extent, is dependent, albeit the stipends that drop, the crumbs that drop from the economic wastage and leakages we have via this corruption. But at least the primary health cares, they still run with some little Panadol and paracetamol and some common over-the-counter drugs and the rest. They manage to just buy it after taking a larger part of the money. And also for the teachers, even though they don't receive salary on regular basis, but at least they hope that someday they can receive salary, keeps them going. Right. So if you call for the suspension of allocation to the local government for a time, who knows? You are not being fair to your constituents.
We're out of time.
Because the teachers are going to go on strike and go home, and the students are going. So the essential social services in the state are going to be grounded. So how can somebody be advocating such for his people when he is a product of it and he enjoyed it, took benefit of it under a governor of PDP? Under a PDP administration
Daniel,
that considered a caretaker, and he was in the Senate, and he didn't see anything wrong with it.
Mr. Daniel, we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been wonderful having this conversation with you.
Thank you so much.
Daniel Onje,
Thank you
APC
so much.
chieftain in Benue State. Tonight we focused on the uproar over the sack of elected local government chairman in Benue State. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.